So we're going to talk a little bit about medications and why we reach for medications right away. I necessarily don't, and I know Jenny doesn't really. I find more natural ways to uh, figure out how I could solve that problem, a headache, fatigue, sleeping problems, whatnot. They're natural ways, believe it or not. So there's always a conception, like my mother, for instance, and not to like put her down or anything, but she's always like, did you see the doctor yet? Do you have an issue? Did you see the doctor yet? I'm like, yeah, I saw a doctor, but really I didn't see a doctor because I solved the issue myself. Because like the first thing she'll be like, oh, I have this ankle pain. I went to see the doctor. And I'm like, okay, mom, good. He gave me a pill. And I'm like, oh, okay. What did she give you? What did he give you? And then I find out and I'm like, oh, okay. And then she needs to take an antacid with it, right? Like something to protect the stomach of the lining of the stomach, sorry. So like our Western culture has always been medication, over-the-counter medications, seeking prescriptions. Rather than pursuing why or underlining issues to see why we are sick instead, right? There's so many other reasons why we are sick, such as lifestyle factors, dietary choices, lack of exercise, lack of sleep, too much stress, and your emotional state. There's reasons why we are sick for a lot of reasons.
I think one of the reasons why people go and reach for or go and see the doctor or reach for the bottle or whatever it is, the quick fix, is because that's how people are. They want things instantaneously. They want things to be fixed as soon as possible. But of course, not understanding that there are underlying causes, side effects, and it's a temporary, push the dirt under the rug, but never really vacuuming it up, right? That kind of idea to cover it, because the root cause is still there. So that's one of the things that I noticed even in the healthcare field. There's a lot of people who come, get the medication, but yet the true solution to solving the issue is not done. It's just kind of just swept under the rug. And
exactly. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of like, with drugs, like medication, right? Like it's there to help solve an issue, but there's also like a big marketing aspect to it. Like it's highly marketed, right? And not to say like the pharmaceuticals industry is like highly pushing for medication to be used.
They are pushing for it.
They are, because like it is marketing, right? So of course they want to push the medication, and it's highly supported by the medical community, right? The medical professional community. And it's the whole like Western approach, right? That's how people approach it. That's why people need medication. So like
it's like a cyclical thing. It's like a continuous revolving issue. So then they don't really solve the issue. So they just continue to like buy that medication. I mean, there's some medication people actually need and should be on, right? But then most of it people don't need to be, if they would understand the other aspect, the factors that they can do to treat it.
And a lot of people like for instance, like my grandmother, like now that she's passed, I noticed that she was she used a lot of laxatives to help her with constipation. She had a lot of issues. So she had a very low fiber diet. It was high in starch, lots of coffee. Like she drank a lot of coffee and didn't drink enough water. And it caused a lot of constipation. And in her later years in life, she wasn't able to go naturally on her own. So she relied on laxatives and suppositories and enemas to help her go, which I could see that being an issue for a lot of seniors.
It's a very common issue.
It is.
Seniors. And not only that, I noticed that even more children and more younger adults are coming in with abdomen issues or complaints, and also more constipation. So there's an increase not only in elderly, but I noticed there's more in the younger population as well too. because of their diet and their sedimentary lifestyle and
That's
lack of
true.
focus.
You know what? At one point in my life, I was like somewhat constipated too, because I had a very poor diet. I didn't really know what good food was.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of heavy carbs, heavy starches, like donuts, coffee. Like I've done it all myself, right? Like I've had a very poor diet. I haven't had a good diet my whole life.
Yeah.
I would binge eat. I had a eating disorder. So like it was just a very bad roller coaster for me.
Yeah.
And it took years for me to like get out of those poor states of like, because I would be full of acne all over my face and I'll be like, why is this? I'm in my 20s. What's going on?
You also have nice skin, but yeah, I remember you had like
like it was just poor skin due to poor diet and other lifestyle factors. I was stressed. I was not taking care of myself. I wasn't sleeping well. I drank alcohol. I partied too much. Like I did all that, right?
Yeah.
And now that I'm a little older, I know like, honestly, this is what I did. And this is why I've gone through those life stages to be able to help myself and help my clients educate themselves and become better in their life, right? And have a better health and well-being, right?
Yeah, I've seen the transformation of how Blenda went through because she's one of my best friend. And what a difference though. We went through that stage and she went through that stage, and yet now like to see a transformation in how she's doing in terms of her health and her lifestyle and her mental state and her moods. She's like, you go from like here to here, like amazing. Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny. It took a long road, but it's worth it. It's worth every bit. Yes, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going to address a couple of issues that we do have. We have some natural remedies that we could share. And I think that these might be some really good ones for everybody all around. I have 5 or 6 of them that we can naturally resolve.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's hear.
So going back to constipation. So with low fiber diets, it's associated with GI disorders, so gastrointestinal disorders, constipation, even colon cancer. So like as soon as you increase your fiber intake, like fibrous foods will give you enough roughage. That way it'll help with increasing motility in your digestive system.
Yeah. You know what? One point I want to make, because we're talking about bowel movements and like, increasing our, making it easier so we don't have constipation. Think of it like this. If you understand this idea where, okay, so you're putting the nutrients in your system and you want to have good nutrients and it goes through your funnel and goes through your GI tract. And then you're going to expel it. The whole point of it is to absorb as much nutrients as possible and to excrete, get rid of the waste. Now, if you're constipated, that waste product is in your system, in your intestine for longer. Think about having mold, a bacteria or things that you don't want staying in your system longer, right? Whereas if it goes, it absorbs what is needed, get all that benefit and then get rid of it. How good would it be? So the longer you have it in your system and the more constipated it is, there are negative consequences.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So dietary fiber is very important. Drinking lots of water, abdominal massage. That is a natural way. Some yoga,
ab exercise.
Some yoga poses can actually increase the motility of your bowels, as well as a nice detox. Like sometimes we do need that. And I personally like to detox like twice a year. And I do have a detox program. So like if you are
excited for that.
Hit me up. Another thing that we can naturally help ourselves is fatigue. Fatigue is a big one for a lot of people. People are exhausted. So you need to look at like things such as getting enough sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? Asking that question. Is your body resting when you're sleeping? Is it really resting? Or are you getting up in the middle of the night a few times to get back into a comfortable position? I think breathing and medication is a great way to relieve fatigue. Massage We all love massages, so that's a good one. Ginseng can help relieve fatigue for sure.
Yeah. Ginseng
Also,
is natural, yeah. Ginseng is natural stimulant, right? It's not like the coffee. Ginseng is pretty much like it has all that stimulant that in a natural form. And so it helps wake you up. It's good for vitality. And for those who are interested in having better relationship, you know what I mean?
sex.
Yes, you can have the ginseng. The ginseng apparently helps with
Blood flow.
relationship.
Yeah.
That's it.
It brings like more blood flow to the sex organs. We love talking about this, don't we? Okay. So
Like, I mean, we're adults, okay? Like I'm a woman, Blenda's a woman, we're not kids. And a lot of times that being intimate with our partners is important. And you know, for the men out there, they enjoy it. I think they enjoy it. And it's why not make it so good for a relationship, you know?
yeah. So ginseng, that's a good one.
Yes.
So a lot of people have a lot of difficulty with sleeping, insomnia.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some natural or some ways that you could help. Exercise.
Yes.
Believe it or not, exercising helps.
Yeah.
I know Jenny has her challenge and it's going really well, and she has good sleep because of exercise.
I do notice though, like on the days that I exercise, I sleep better. I mean, I've been sleeping good like for a while now, but I notice when I exercise, I sleep even better than my usual.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. So there's other ways too. So calcium, magnesium helps to relax the body. Also melatonin, that's also something naturally produced in the body. If you are having difficulty, you can take a melatonin supplement.
Yeah.
Can
I add a comment on melatonin? Yeah. So with melatonin, it's on the whole cascade of, along with the serotonin and the whole mood, right? So when you have good like amount of melatonin, is you know how people have depression, anxiety, or like they have panics and all that stuff. The serotonin kind of mellows you out. So the melatonin is part of the whole cascade of that serotonin, you know, pathway like that. So it's so important. That will help with mood and mental health and feeling good about yourself, right?
Exactly. So those are some natural ways to combat insomnia.
Yeah.
Another big one that's out there that we do get them, even kids get them, like headache.
Yeah.
A lot of time I do get headaches.
Yeah.
I just have to kind of look back and be like, am I resting enough? Am I sleeping enough?
Yeah.
Am I drinking enough water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. Lavender oil is something natural that we can use to help relieve. Also curcumin, that's another supplement you can take to naturally help with headaches. This time of the year, cold and flus.
Yeah.
Cold and flus. So a lot of times we do get colds and flus. Ever since the kids started school, I've been sick like 18 times, I bet. And I think very important is getting enough sleep, because you do need your body to rest. Having fluids, soups, broths, hot fluids always help. They also help with boosting your immunity, because soups and broths have a lot of nutrients in them, so it helps boost your immunity. Vitamin C, vitamin A. And I'm big on echinacea for some reason.
The immunity boosting, I mean, it's part of that flower.
Yeah.
Flower, but all these natural herbs and natural plants.
Yeah.
The whole company extract them.
Yeah.
Plants.
Yeah. So echinacea is one that I really love. Ginseng as well. Here's another one. Ginseng, cold and flu.
Yeah.
Right. Zinc lozenges if you have like a sore throat. A lot of us have, so moving on to the next one, we have indigestion sometimes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, I have indigestion. I'm just going to go take a Tums or like an antacid or something to like help with the
Pantaloc.
That's just going to cover it up and to cause other issues. So here's some natural ways. So I really like ginger.
Yeah.
Really good. Teas are really good. Peppermint tea helps with the stomach. Chamomile tea, licorice root, drinking water will help. Aloe vera juice, that's a big one out there. That's really come up lately. And I'm a big fan of aloe vera. Like if you have a sunburn, you could actually treat the outside of your skin. But aloe vera is actually good for your digestive tract as well. So having some aloe vera juice, that would help as well and support the gut health.
Can I interfere with in terms of because the aloe vera? I noticed because my kids, okay, they have a little bit of eczema. And so what I do is that with the aloe vera, I get it from the grocery store. So I would peel it, I wash it, and I would have them apply it to where their eczema site is.
Yes.
And I noticed that one, it helps with itchiness. Two, it helps with moisture. So, and I don't want them to have the corticosteroids or like all of the steroids cream, right? Because over time it can affect your immunity. So I use that, and I find aloe vera helps with it. So it has a vitamin E complex to it too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we turn to like over-the-counter medications because it's just easier to get a hold of. But there's other natural remedies out there.
That are just as effective or even
just a better source, right? So like for wound healing, like right now I have this wound healing therapy, and a lot of people think like wounds, oh, polysporin. Actually, there's a really good plant-based formula that I do use, and like Maple Organics wound therapy. And it has like, it's all natural ingredients to help with healing wounds.
Yeah.
And I find it really helpful. And I use it on my kids. I use it on myself. Like if I have like a cut or a scrape or anything. And there's so many products that are out there that are plant-based and natural products that you could use like instead of the over-counter medications. So it's time to think about like moving into the more natural items and and think about how those over-the-counter medications could actually impact your health. Even on the topically, it could affect your health because it is absorbed into your bloodstream, absorbed from your skin into your bloodstream. And you still need your body to like detox that item out, those products out. Yeah.
No, it's true. Like, okay, so in terms of the signs and symptoms, if your body, this is one of the signs and symptoms that like your body's telling you, hey, I'm not feeling good. Your skin, any kind of thing that affects your skin, that's like one of the first signs that's telling you, hey, I need to do something, either improve my immunity, get more fluids, whatever it is, right? The skin will be the one that tells you, and that's the largest organ of your body. So people don't think that, oh, I'm putting something on my skin. Like what Blenda's saying, things get absorbed topically and it goes through the pores. So whatever you put on your body, even like certain lotions, certain chemicals that we don't know about it, that can affect our health, right? So
I'm big on using natural wellness products because we're exposed to so many products out there. Like even in the morning before you even leave the house, you're using thousands of chemicals on your body. You wash your hair, you use a conditioner, you wash your face, toothbrush, toothpaste, like all those items that you're using on your body have chemicals, right? So it's better to switch to more better health wellness products.
I noticed from a medical point of view, there are a lot of patients that comes in and they want to have a diagnose. This is the thing. Each time someone comes into the ER, they want to know what causes their problem. So from a medical point of view, the doctor would diagnose something. A lot of times the diagnosis is very vague, like headache, okay, dizziness, not yet diagnosed, pain, atypical chest pain. Now, they're not really a diagnosis. They're just, naming the symptoms. But because of all these conditions, there's a lot of things that we don't know and people want to know about it. When really is that if we focus on doing the things that what Blenda suggests, the naturopathic way or the more holistic, putting on the good stuff, we're actually, doing the things that actually helps our body improve our immunity so that we don't have these signs and symptoms that don't have a category for the doctor to diagnose. Right? So that's really important though.
We have to like start protecting our immunity because
it's
the immunity, it's poor immunity causes so many health issues and so many diseases.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now, or listening to an audiobook. It's called Cured,
Okay.
by Dr. Jeffrey Reidinger.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that one, but it's like a natural, spontaneous healing. So people with like cancer, right? And like all they do is like these lifestyle factors, and they change their life, and then all of a sudden they heal themselves from cancer or like deadly diseases, right? And I'm like, whoa, right? So
Yeah.
I'm listening to this audiobook and I'm like, wow, look how important nutrition could be. Chapter 2, they talk about nutrition. Like, how important is nutrition for us, right? And I think we
Yeah.
take it for granted, and a lot of people just don't have that conception, and they just want to get fixed, but they don't know how to fix them. I'm like, the first thing you do is just look at your nutrition.
Yeah, it's so true what Blenda said, because this is something that is not new. It's been around for decades, centuries, for years, right? So like the Buddhists said, use food as thy medicine, right? There's a reason why they do that. And a lot of some of the medication that the pharmaceutical makes, they derive those components from plants, from natural sources. So there's even this saw pomelo, I might not say it right?
Oh, pomelo.
Pomelo, where it helps with prostates, right? There's actually a plant that they derive that component from. So that's to help with people who have, like, especially the elderly men who have enlarged prostate. So they take that as supplement, but whereas the old way, they take plants. And also, like, there's this plant called, it's like, well, this medication is like Senecot or Senna, right? It's part of this plant base where it helps with, it's like one of the laxative, right? So they derive from plants, but prior to that, I think it was from Jamaica or another, I can't remember what country, but one of my coworkers was telling me about it. They used to chew on that plant when they had issue with constipation. So it's a natural derived product. So, but whereas the thing that they do in the pharmaceutical is that there's so many side effects because of all these other, they're trying to compact it in that one pill, right? So there's other different ways, a natural way of treating our body.
So much out there. It's just, you just need to dig deep and you'll find it. Yeah.
Or just go straight to Blenda.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Help you with it. Why need to spend all that time when you got this expert right here? Like, seriously.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know I'm a big fan of like making soups and broths, and like lately I've been big on like papaya soup or like different kinds of broths out there. Like my husband's big on like the apple and Asian pear broth, because it's like it helps with clearing phlegm, right?
And it's soothing for you.
It's good for your throat, and you're boosting your immunity with just natural soups and broths. That could be so helpful. Spices, herbs, they're all great for you. You just got to know which ones to use. And if you don't know,
spices and herbs, we got to go into that, right? People season everything with salt, but if you add like natural spice, natural herbs to your meal, oh my God, it makes it so tasty.
Yes. And it's good for you. It's not just tasty, it's good for you.
Salivating, my God.
Are you thinking about lunch already?
No, just the food to eat. Okay,
Awesome.
is there anything else you want to say, or you want to end it off with something? Oh, we're good. Okay.
All right. I think we're good. Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed this and found this useful, if anything, contact Blenda. She's really good. She has all this information on, curing your body and helping you optimize your health in a natural way, right? I mean, the reason why we're doing this is because we've been there, we've done that, and I've seen a lot of people suffering in the healthcare industry, and we don't want you guys to be any one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, have a great day.
Bye now.